Today we have this Naim NAP 140 clone board by LJM. We're going to check the power output of this board with 8 ohms, 6 ohms and 4 ohms load, and using the recommended bias voltage by the board maker. It's here. According to this, the base emitter voltage of the power transistor should be around 450 millivolt. So we're going to test the power output of this amp using this bias voltage here, and we are also going to test it using the bias voltage as recommended by the internet. According to the internet, the bias voltage of this board should be around 7 millivolt across the emitter resistor of the power transistor. So first we're going to test the power output of the board using the 450 millivolt across the base emitter voltage of the power transistor, and then we're going to set it to 7 millivolt, so we can compare the if there is any difference between the bias. This is how much the kit cost me, around 26 pound 53 for both the board. This kit, so I have to assemble this one. The price of the board varies depending if there is a sale. If there is a sale, it's possible to get this a little bit cheaper. The specs of the board: it requires a dual polarity 40 volts power supply and 80 watts at 8 ohms. Okay, that is the power transistor of the board. I'm sure this is a Chinese made Sanken to EC2922. I think this transistor is already obsolete and it's not manufactured anymore by Sanken. This is the product page of D2SC2922. This is already obsolete and is no longer manufactured. So chances are these power transistors are fake. We have our board connected to our power supply. So first we're going to check our power supply. So the power supply is a dual polarity 40 volts power supply. So we're going to check from the negative rail to the positive rail. So we have 79.6 volts. Okay, so that is from the negative rail to the ground, to the common ground, 39.9. Positive to the common ground, 39.7 volts. This yellow cable is the positive output of the power supply, positive 40 volts, and the blue one is the negative 40 volts. The yellow cable goes to the, as you can see, it goes to the plus VCC there, to the positive connection of the power supply, and the blue one is the negative 40 volts. The negative 40 volts goes to the negative BEE, the negative connection point for the power supply. As you can see, the blue cable is connected there, and this is our power ground. It goes to the common of the power supply. We also have a common ground there for the input signal. This also goes to the common ground of the power supply. So this potentiometer here adjusts the bias of the board. This pink cable here is the output of the amplifier, and the return is this black cable here. It also goes to the common of the power supply. So the output of the power supply is these two cable, the pink and this black one. So it goes to our 8 ohms dummy load. This is our 8 ohms dummy load. This white cable here goes to our 8 ohms dummy load, and it goes to the ground of the power supply, power ground of the power supply, and the other one goes to the output of the main amp. This is our oscilloscope probe here. It's connected to the positive output of the power supply, and the ground of the scope also goes to the cable here, to the common of the power supply. And this is the input for our THD meter, this cable. Okay, it has two wires here. The common also goes to the common of the power supply, and the input goes to the output of the power supply. So this meter here is connected to this is the anning meter. This is the probe for the anning meter. It's connected to the emitter resistor of the power transistor to measure the idle current. So that is the idle current of the amplifier. Currently, that is the idle current. And we have our unity meter here. It's also connected to the BBE of the power transistor. This is the probe for the unity meter. This one here, it's connected to the BBE of the power transistor, so we can measure the BBE of the power transistor. The recommended BBE for this board is around 450 millivolt. As you can see, it's there, 450 volt BBE for the power transistor. Okay, BBE 450 millivolt. So we're going to set the BBE of this amp around 450 millivolt. Currently the BBE of the power transistor is around 470 millivolts, so we're going to set that at around 450 millivolt or less, according to the recommendation of the board. Okay, so we're going to set the BBE of the power amp to 450 millivolts. This is the adjustment path here. So that is around 450 millivolt for the bias of the power transistor. Now we're going to check the power output of this amplifier at 8 ohms, 6 ohms and 4 ohms load. Okay, that's around 1.5 millivolt across the emitter resistor of the power transistor. Okay, so this is the output of our ultra low noise 1 kHz oscillator. It's an RCA output, and I have this clip here, so I can just clip this directly to the input of the board. So I'm just going to clip this one here. This is the negative and the output of the oscillator. Okay, so the input of the amp goes straight to the output of our 1 kHz oscillator. So this is 8 ohms load. Currently that is our output, 4.4 volts peak to peak. Now I'm going to adjust the output up to before clipping. Okay, so we have a little noise here at the bottom. The top is clean. Okay, so that is clipping. Let's see the THD at clipping. Okay, so we are at the 10% range. So that's around 6% THD at clipping. So I'm just going to reduce the input to the amp a little bit so it does not clip. Okay, so that is the maximum voltage output before clipping. 68.8 volts peak to peak. And let's see at our THD. 10% range. That's around 3.8%. Okay, let's go to 6 ohms load. We have our 6 ohms dummy load. So I'm going to increase the input to the amp now before clipping. This is 6 ohms load. Okay, so it's clipping at 68 volts peak to peak. Look at this. There's a lot of noise here, but the top is pretty clean. Oh, we're actually clipping a little bit here at the bottom. Okay, that's 67.6 volts peak to peak at 6 ohms load. We are THD. We are still at the 10% range. Okay, so we have about 5% THD at 6 ohms. I'm going to reduce the input to the amp so we can see the maximum output of the amp at 6 ohms load with the least distortion, less THD. Can still go a little bit lower. Yeah, that's 1%. Let's go to 3%. So that's about 1.2%. And still go lower. 1%. Let's do 0.1. It looks like that's the least minimum distortion. We are at 0.1%, so that's about 0.04%, but the output is only 14.2 volts peak to peak. Okay, so this is the power output of the amp at 6 ohms load with the least minimum distortion, 4.2 watts RMS. Okay, so that's 4.2 watts RMS at 0.04% THD. Okay, so this is the power output of the amp with the least minimum distortion, 4.2 watts RMS, 0.04 THD. The output is pretty low. Okay, let's go to 4 ohms load now. So to change the dummy load to 4 ohms load, I need to remove all these cables here and reconnect it with the 4 ohms dummy load. So this is our 4 ohms dummy load. I really should swap this on the other side so I don't have to keep reconnecting the connection to the scope and to the THD meter. Okay, so this is 4 ohms load. Okay, so it's clipping at the top. It's clipping here. As you can see, the top of the sine wave is flat. It's also clipping at the bottom. Okay, this is 4 ohms. Okay, that is 62.8 volts peak to peak. This is the THD for around 4.2%. You can smell it, something is burning up. I cannot locate where it is from. I cannot locate where is the burning smell coming from. Okay, so let's go on with the test. Now we're going to set the bias of the amp to 7 millivolt across the emitter resistor. Okay, so this resistor here is the one making the burning smell. This is the resistor that in series with the output of the amplifier. It looks like the power rating of this resistor is not enough at full power at 4 ohms load. It's fine at 8 ohms and 6 ohms, but it is heating up a lot at 4 ohms load. So I'm setting the bias of the board to 7 millivolt now. The potentiometer is very sensitive. I think that is good enough, 7 millivolts across the emitter resistor. So let's start at 4 ohms load because it's already connected here. I need to be fast so I don't burn the output resistor. Okay, so this is 4 ohms load. Okay, so that is clipping. Okay. So that is before clipping, 62.4 volts peak to peak. THD is 4%. I can smell the resistor burning. Okay, so on to 6 ohms. This is 6 ohms. Okay, it's clipping at 66 volts. .2. So it looks like that's the max output, 66.8 volts peak to peak. Let's look at the THD. We are at the 10% range. So that's about 4.8%. 67.6. Okay, so on to our 8 ohms dummy load. Back to our 8 ohms dummy load. Okay, that is the maximum voltage output, 68 volts peak to peak, 8 ohms load, 7 millivolt bias emitter resistor. Okay, this is our THD, 10% range, around 3%. So the THD is a little bit lower with the bias at 7 millivolt. Okay, so this is our result. This 8 ohms load, our bias is 450 millivolt base to emitter power at the power transistor. So we have 74 watts RMS at 3.8% THD with the bias at 7 millivolt at the emitter resistor. We have 72 watts RMS, a little bit lower, 2 watts lower, but the THD is lower also at 3%. At 6 ohms load, we have 95 watts RMS at 5% THD. And the other one, also 95 watts RMS, but the THD is a little bit lower at 4.8%. It's little difference. Okay, 4 ohms load, 123 watts RMS at 4.2% HD. This is with the 450 millivolt bias at the base emitter of the power transistor. And the other one is 122 watts RMS at 4% HD. So there's a little bit difference on that HD. So there's about 1 watt difference here. 6 ohms the same, 8 ohms little bit lower at 2 watts lower, not by much. Okay, so that's it for today. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe. See you next.